Ready anytime?
Hey! Oh, a little sleepy guy. Sorry about that. It's been a long week with Christmas. Say hello to Alon online. Alex is online already. Very long week in retail, as you must understand. Just absolute craziness leading up to Christmas. We've never seen anything like it in our lives. Maybe it's because the lockdown was coming. I don't know. But even today, start of lockdown, insanely busy here at the shop. Just getting orders out from the last 4 days. We've been closed since Christmas Eve. I always get
you get really gassed. Don't blow it over this way.
What is that? Jeez. Oh man, not doing so good right now. But I want to say hello to everybody. This is Out of Bounds. This is our Monday night talk show with some sports talk and some other things sports related. But pretty shitty show tonight, actually. Not shitty as in like the content's bad. Just one of our subject pretty sad actually. So Brandon's not a wrestling fan, so you guys might know what we're going to talk about. But I want you guys to tune in on the or chime in actually on what is happening right now. Just some crazy shit going on. So what kind of tease this?
It's called Be the Change.
It's Be the Change, but it's BEE.
Yeah, there's some type
It's like a bumblebee.
some type of honey stuff in there.
One sip. You guys know the rules.
Let's see if we can get the light on here and see how it's... Oh, look at that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely got like a honeyish. Ooh. It's like sweetness, like a honey, and then all of a sudden, a homeless guy farts in your mouth.
Okay. All right. I've never had that happen, so I don't know what that tastes like.
No, we're not watching the World Juniors right now. We're talking to you, man.
We have been watching, though, Alon.
And we will talk about that. We'll talk about what happened the other night with the Team Canada game.
Yeah.
Absolute embarrassment, in my opinion.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring Brandon in. I'm tired, man. You take over. So as you guys can see, hey Detroit, how's it go? Oh, that's Carla. We can do both. I know we can do both. But as you can see, the topics here, we've got the Jon Huber death. Jon Huber, also known as Luke Harper, also known as Brody Lee, the wrestler from WWE, WWF, WWE, and then also he was in AEW most recently with as the Brody Lee. Sorry. Just some eerie facts about this. We were just talking before we went on the air. Hey Don, what's going on? Joey June, what's going on? We will touch on the Corey Perry signing. A lot of stuff as we went to air tonight, just in the last couple of... We came up with subjects earlier today.
Yeah.
A lot's happened since we came up with our subject. That's why we have the free-for-all. That's the Audible. We can call an Audible and talk about whatever we want. It's our show. We can talk about my show with him on it.
49%.
That's right. So, before we get started, how was your Christmas?
It was very good. Yeah, very, very good. Nice and relaxing. I like the idea of not having to have the entire family there the entire time. We did something a little different. We did a breakfast, and then we had some in-laws come over, and then they left, and then we ended up having the rest of the in-laws come over for the rest of the day. So it was busy, but it wasn't as bad as having everyone there at one time, tripping over everyone. There wasn't as many kids. I liked it. I actually liked it a lot. Is that a Christmas present?
It's the best Christmas present I received this year. I bought it for myself.
Okay.
It is a official Nick Cave Bad Seed sweater. And that's right, folks. You do not mess with me. I am a bad, bad man.
Is Nick Cave a wrestler?
Nick Cave's a wrestler.
Okay.
No, he's a musician.
I don't know that.
Yeah, so we got some people talking about... we haven't even started the subject yet, but we'll get into that right now. It's 7:05. We're going to bring up the timer right now. Do you want to go shorter tonight, or what do you want to do?
That's up to you, man.
Give us 8 minutes on the clock
per
topic tonight. That'll give us a 40-minute show. That's good enough for me.
Good.
Jon Huber's death. we were just mentioning that he went by Brody Lee in the AEW All Elite Wrestling. Just recently had the TV title that he lost to Cody Rhodes. Everybody knows Cody Rhodes from the Rhodes family. He dropped that title. He was due to take some time off from television because he wasn't feeling well. I was just reading that he was on his Peloton. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, it's one of the bikes where you
one
have
of the bikes.
like,
okay, yeah. So he was doing some. He's in pretty good shape.
Cardio stuff. Yeah.
41 years old, folks. You got to remember that. 41 years old. He was doing his routine exercises. I guess you'd call them his cardio, and he couldn't finish his exercises and figured something was wrong. He was dead tired. No pun intended, obviously. I don't mean that, but he was just something was wrong, and he couldn't recover from it. So he went to the hospital, is what I'm reading, and they discovered that he was having his lungs weren't working anymore. Not COVID related. His wife's made sure to tell everybody that.
Yeah, I saw that was
it was
written
not
in
a
the report.
COVID related death. But I'm hearing from different people that he may have had COVID.
Okay.
This is all speculation on my part. Maybe he had like an issue with like they call them long haulers, where you maybe feel like you're recovered from COVID, but it's done some damage in a way.
Yeah, there seems to be permanent damage that's happening to some people.
I read a report that he may have had it. I'm not 100% sure on that, obviously, and I don't want to start a rumor. But if he did have it, maybe it had something to do with it, but it wasn't directly. He didn't. What I'm saying is he probably didn't have COVID at the time of his death, and I think that's why they made that statement.
So they're not relating it to as a COVID death.
That's right.
Okay. So they're trying to make a distinction between.
If anybody knows any information about that, I read it in a comment. I read it. It wasn't like a BS comment or anything like that. It was actually a journalist that put out that information. I just can't find it today. If anybody's read that today and wants to comment on that, feel free to do so.
Now, you said he was taking time out of AEW for health-related reasons, or
because
he was
of
just
this.
because of this? Okay.
So he was scheduled to take. Where did I get my Nick Cave service? Uncle Rocket Claus brought it for me. I ordered this. This actually, it showed up Christmas Eve. We actually picked it up 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
I got the notice. I'm like, awesome. So like every one of my Christmas gifts were here for Christmas. So for myself.
Okay, that's good. Merry Christmas to you.
It was a good day, man.
Merry Christmas to you.
My 2 Gretzky rookies came in that day. My Nick Cave order came in.
Hi, Amanda.
So the coolest thing is they only had 9 months to 12 months. So Nova has the exact same outfit, but it's a onesie. So he's got the Bad Seed onesie. So we're gonna, dad and the boy,
cool,
walking down the street, women be like, oh my god,
couple of bad seeds.
We're bad folks. But
so he was taking time off as
he had a match with Cody Rhodes, which he lost. He lost the title. They took the title off him because I don't know if it was if he wasn't feeling well at that time, but the idea was that he would take a few weeks off and kind of recoup.
Yeah.
And then come back, maybe refreshed. And during the 2 weeks off, he fell extremely ill. And passed away on the 26th.
So if he wasn't feeling well, I guess my concern is, as an elite athlete, these guys are guys who do have doctors, I would assume, at their disposal. How often do these guys undergo physicals, and how often do they undergo...
Well, that's not necessarily true. So in WWE, these guys are, what do they call them? Contractors.
Okay.
They don't have health care.
Like freelancers, okay.
They're freelancers or contracted. They don't have health care. And that's one of the main issues with wrestling. Yes, they have doctors on scene or on site during events.
Like EMTs.
EMTs, and like if you break a bone, like they'll, and then they'll send you to the hospital.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, like, if it's a cardiovascular or something like that, they're not taking your blood pressure before you go out.
But do these guys not have like a medical staff that travel with them that has like charts on these guys? Like I
doubt it. I think a lot of pro wrestlers just keep their information with them. You know what I mean? Like they'll keep a chart with them, and this is what's going on with me, because they go from town to town and they'd have to see a different doctor every time.
Right. Right.
So, like, could this be related to this issue that happened 6 months ago?
Like, you almost wonder if this is something that, if they don't have a medical staff or medical personnel that travel with them that know about these underlying conditions, because obviously it's an underlying condition that they potentially could have known about. If there could have been something
No, it's just
done.
recent. So,
Yeah, I know, I understand what you're saying, but how long ago? If you're thinking that he had COVID, how long are you thinking that he had COVID?
I'm not saying he did.
No,
I
just
read somewhere that he may have had it.
But that's what I mean. Like, these are things where if you had a team physician or if you had a team medical personnel that kind of followed the wrestlers as they went through, they would have caught this quicker and they would have been able to do something about it, right?
Brandon's not a wrestling fan. So,
That's right. But like, I mean, they like a simple oxygen sensor, because if your lungs stop working, your oxygen goes way down, and anything lower than 92% becomes potentially incredibly harmful for you. So if you run an oxygen sensor, which doesn't really take all that much to do, running the blood pressure, testing the blood every once in a while and stuff like that to make sure that there's no problems, these are kinds of just things that they could do to preventative measures that might save a life, I guess, down the road if they had someone there doing that.
I understand what you're saying, but what I was getting at is, with you not being a wrestling fan, this isn't the first time. So this is a very it's almost sad. Well, it is sad. Almost every year we hear of a professional wrestler in the WWE or former WCW or just a professional wrestler, period. In the last year or so, we've had numerous deaths of people under the age of 45. This goes back, Davey Boy Smith, Eddie Guerrero. The list goes on, guys, about wrestlers, either their heart or their lungs or some form of cancer, out of nowhere, their head explodes. What do they call that? Embolism?
Yeah, an embolism, yeah. Pulmonary embolism.
It's just, it goes concussion, CTE, suicide. Wrestling is a deadly industry. I would say that in the ring is probably the safest place for them. It's when they get out of the ring where they run into problems. I think Brody took pretty good.
Is that lifestyle choices like you're talking about?
No, I think Huber took really good care of himself. He had a family, had a wife and a couple kids, I believe. He wasn't perfect, though. He was a Maple Leafs fan. I don't want to joke about that, but he was a diehard Maple Leafs fan.
Yeah, okay.
But
it could be CTE.
Yeah. Not funny.
No, I get it.
But from all accounts, he was normal. He was just an in-ring entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
Big dude. He was a big guy. He was probably like 6'4", 6'5", close to 300, maybe a little bit more than 300 pounds. But always took care of himself from what everybody says. Like no one ever badmouths the guy when they die.
Right.
But all the comments coming out are just of shock from other people in the industry. Yeah, it's just eerily similar. He looked like Bruiser Brody. He kind of wrestled like Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody dies murdered at 42. John Huber dead at 41. Just totally crazy, guys. Just really weird. If you guys haven't watched, if you're not a big wrestling fan, I was telling Brandon before we came in the air, Dark Side of the Ring. If you guys can get Dark Side of the Ring on streaming, I highly recommend watching the episodes. My wife loves it. She's not a wrestling fan. She hates watching wrestling, but she loves the behind-the-scenes documentary, like how crazy some of these guys were. If you guys haven't done so yet, definitely watch what do I call it? Dark Side of the Ring. Sorry, I always get it confused with Beyond the Ring or whatever, the Mick Foley one from back in the day. But I'm just reading some comments here. Yeah, so we won't know. I think the family's gonna keep everything pretty tight. His wife had come out and give a statement and just wanted to make sure people knew that it wasn't COVID,
right?
And that it was something that just had come on very recently.
Well, you know what? If they say it is COVID, don't you think that they would need to potentially look into contact tracing for the wrestling and how much of an impact that could have on the the wrestling industry, the AEW or whatever.
Oh, they've
whatever you
had
belong to?
so AEW and WWE have both had cases of COVID in their locker room.
Does it shut them down completely,
No,
or do
they
they
don't
just
care.
find?
They don't
okay.
care.
All right.
That's why they wrestle in Florida, because Florida won't shut anything down.
Okay.
They're both stationed in Florida right now. WWE's wrestling currently in the Thunderdome in Tampa Bay, I believe. They were in Orlando, and AEW is wrestling in Jacksonville. Tony Khan, his father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, so they have access to the stadium.
Cool. Okay. Okay, let's go topic 2.
NFL Week 17. No real big surprises other than maybe the Jets winning again.
Well,
The Jets have just knocked themselves out of the first overall pick.
Yeah,
Jacksonville is confirmed to get the number 1 pick.
they are not going to get Trevor Lawrence, yes.
So, other than that, everything was kind of status quo.
Lions suck. Thanks, Alex.
Everything that needed to happen for my Chicago Bears happened. Arizona lost on Saturday, even though Robbie Gould tried to screw them. Robbie Gould missed 3 kicks that day, former Chicago Bear. Tell me that's not fixed. Just chip shots. He missed all 3 of them.
Yeah. Could be anything. Right?
No.
Could be broken. I saw, who was it? The St. Louis guy missed like 4 kicks in the game, or he missed 7 kicks over 2 games.
Mike Trudell's online, Bears fan. What do you think of Robbie Gould probably purposely missing 3 field goals on Saturday?
I don't know. I'm surprised to see Dallas is in the hunt. Dallas started off the season.
Dallas is now the favorite to win
Dallas
the
started off
NFC East.
2-7. That's
okay.
And then now they're in the hunt to actually take the division
What
after beating Philadelphia last night.
So Seattle beat the Rams.
Seattle beat the
We
Rams,
also
yeah.
needed that to happen. It's not. I don't think we'll beat Green Bay.
I don't think so either.
I think Chicago. I'm going to say it right now. I think Chicago misses the playoffs.
Okay.
Even though they're sitting in the playoff spot right now, here's what's going to happen. Chicago loses to Green Bay. The Rams lose to Arizona. Then
I don't think the Rams will lose to Arizona because they're
Goff
talking
is out
about
now.
Goff is out, and there's also their running back is out as well. So yeah, I can see Arizona beating.
So
the Rams.
that's what we're looking at. Perfect scenario, this in a perfect world, Arizona beats the Rams, Chicago beats Green Bay. Chicago is now not the last seed, doesn't have to play Green Bay in the first round of the playoffs. Or sorry, they wouldn't play them anyways. Green Bay would get a bye.
Yeah.
But
Green Bay is playing for something though, so it's not like
so
they're going to be
Green Bay-
resting players.
Yeah, so
I know KC today said that they're probably not starting Patrick Mahomes. They're going to be resting players because they've already got everything they need locked up.
So the only team in the NFC that scares me is Green Bay.
Mhm.
I think they're the best team in the NFC. Everybody else is beatable.
Okay.
Everybody else is kind of like if you catch them on a bad day. The Browns will make the playoffs.
They're in the hunt, but I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. Ryan? What do they need? They need help, right?
They don't have any wide receivers.
Well, I know there's all 4 of them are out, but that was COVID protocol. So all 4 of them were out because of contact tracing, so they could be back next week.
Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks don't scare me at all. I watched the game last night. I think they beat who'd they beat? Somebody that they needed to beat for us to. Oh, it was the Rams. Sorry, and the Rams, they were both horrible.
Mhm.
Like both teams didn't impress me at all. I think Seattle had maybe like 2 decent drives in the entire game. LA's offense was doing nothing.
Well, without Goff, because he hurt his finger, right? So he's going to be.
Yeah, he
done.
hurt his finger in like the 4th quarter.
I know, but
The Saints don't scare me at all. I don't think the Saints are for real.
I think their defense is better than you think, and I think with Drew Brees back and
With Drew, so this is the problem. Drew Brees being back is actually a detriment to that team.
I don't think so.
He's banged up, man. He's gonna get hit by somebody very early in the playoff game, and that'll be it.
Well, banged up or not, but I think even with the more amount of reps that he gets, he's going to find his rhythm again. It won't take him long.
He wasn't good to start with, man.
Oh, he's
This year he's not that good anymore. He's
well.
throwing ducks.
He might not be good anymore, but he still gives you a better opportunity than their backup quarterback.
I guess. But what I'm saying though is like nobody in the NFC scares me except for Green Bay. because it seems like Green Bay can score at will. Their defense is horrible.
Their defense is not good. They rely
So
solely on
so they are vulnerable too, because if they run into a defense that kind of gets the better of them, because defense travels. That's the big thing. Defense travels. They are beatable, but I think they are the. The last time I don't like Kamara against somebody that can shut down the run doesn't scare me at all.
Well, I don't know. He's got 56 total touchdowns, I think,
care.
since he was drafted in 2017.
Urban Meyer's the new coach for the Lions?
I don't.
That's no.
I don't know if that's true.
You guys are all on the Alvin Kamara bandwagon. I'm going to tell you, the last time the Bears played the Saints, I think the Saints eked out a victory, if I recall, but they completely shut down Alvin Kamara. So just chill out on Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was running against the Minnesota Vikings. David Montgomery had 2 or 3 touchdowns against them the week before and like 200 yards, so settle down.
Well, you know what? There is a lot to say about momentum, too, right? If he comes in with the confidence after scoring 6 TDs, he could run wild. Look at what Derrick Henry does week in and week out.
Yeah,
right?
Alvin Kamara's ugly. That's what I want to say. Alvin Kamara's got a nose ring, and he's ugly.
Ouch.
This is the type. This is the type of journalism you get on this show. He's not an attractive human being.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I just want to punch him in the face.
They got to be able to take him down, right?
Face. Like he's got that stupid nose ring, like Bebop.
I think he would smash you.
No. Come on. I've been in the ring with Mike Tyson, dude. Like no one's smashing me. I'm a bad seed. So the Lions are talking to Urban Meyer. You can file that in probably the "it's not going to help"
I
category.
don't think he's going to come. Because what are you going to do? You're going to sign him to a 4-year deal? He'll do nothing, and then he'll go back to college. The amount of effort and work that it takes to run a pro team versus a college team, and the amount of money that Urban Meyer makes, it would be stupid for him to leave.
Who knows? He wants a challenge, right?
Yeah, but not that much of a challenge. Like that's why Jim Harbaugh went back to college when he was done in the NFL. He hated the fact that you were constantly being talked to by reporters, constantly having to manage your players, and they're not listening to you. It's just like there's all this to go to a pro team out of a college. If you can make Jim Harbaugh type money, I know, Alex, but if you can make Jim Harbaugh type money while coaching college with half the amount of work, it would be stupid to go to the pros, especially to the Lions. Like, come on, they got nothing.
He can pay his players legally now.
But there's nothing. Like there'd be nothing to draw Urban Meyer to Detroit.
I just don't. I don't think he. I don't know. Maybe he's bored.
I don't know.
Alex is saying he's retired, so.
Yeah.
I haven't followed college football in a few years. I don't know what Urban Meyer's doing. I really don't care. College football to me is a joke, and it has a lot to do with the fact that teams like Ohio seem to get away with whatever they feel like, paying players.
I don't think Urban Meyer needs the money though, Alex. Like I really don't. Like he made $3 and $4 million a season for like the better part of 15 years. Like
yeah, but who
I don't
cares?
think he needs the money.
It's the whole can he win at this level?
So it's the same reason why what's his nuts went to Toronto from Detroit, because he wanted to win in Toronto.
Yeah. Anyways, Week 17 NFL talk is over with. We're going to get to Team Canada. What is that? Misplay?
Team Canada misplay is what you called it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, the misplay. This is like the 16-2 win over Germany is what you. It's the only,
I didn't call it. I called it an embarrassment.
Well, yeah, but I can't fit that in the button, so I had to call it the misplay.
Yeah. So Team Canada comes out. I think it was Germany.
They're worse.
Who did they play?
They played Germany.
Germany.
A depleted Germany
yes.
team. Yeah.
So not only were they playing Germany, which would usually be a fairly easy game for Team Canada, but I think they had like 15 players.
Yeah, they were down 7 guys.
They were down 7 or 8 players on their bench.
Guys.
Like, you literally looked at their bench, and they had 2 lines.
Yeah, they didn't, yeah.
Very funny game, World Junior, Sweden 3-0 Austria.
33-2 in shots. Oof.
Yeah, Germany has 14 men on the squad. So, Canada goes out, and so the big thing was, it was like 10-2 or something like that, or 10-1, And the guy in Edmonton, when Canada scored, was just laying on the air horn when they scored every time. And people were like, dude, give it up.
Yeah, enough. I know.
You know, you don't need the air horn anymore. Just like, you know.
You almost needed to reset the score, I think, like they do in kid games, because the score was so bad.
It's just Kirby Dack had successful wrist surgery today. But I think that's the problem. Like Kirby Dack being a pro now, playing in the NHL, probably would have said to the guys on the bench, hey, we don't celebrate after you're up 10 goals. You don't celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, act like you've done it before.
They seem
that's the big thing. Like,
they seem to be missing that leadership, right? When they were running the score up. I get it. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, act like you've been here before.
Well, act professional. But I can, you know what, in all honesty, when you called it an embarrassment, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so these are kids that want to prove something. They see someone like Tim Stützle get picked 2nd overall, and they're like, okay, well, we need to show this guy, or show scouts, or show whoever,
but it doesn't
that
matter.
We can play on the big stage. I know it doesn't matter, but they want to say that they can play on the big stage as well. Because how many Dylan Cousins cards, like Dylan Cousins played phenomenally, scored a ton of points against Germany. Don't you think you think the value of his cards are going to go up as a result of, and people are going to want to pick Dylan Cousins, and like if you're one of the
hold on.
Sure.
So Brandon's trying to say, like, these kids have something to play for. Does anybody out there want to prove them wrong and tell me how many players on Team Canada are undrafted?
Well,
it's over, man. Like, they're already drafted.
I got it. I understand that.
If they're not, if the entire team's not already drafted, it's probably like 18 out of 25.
I got it,
I mean?
and I understand that. But these are guys who want to make a roster, right? They want to make.
No.
They want to make big money.
Pro teams, like if I'm Marc Bergevin of the Montreal Canadiens and Caden Gooley playing defense for the Montreal Canadiens, or playing defense for Team Canada, scored a goal to make it 15-2 and jumped up and down like an idiot, you would have to sit down with that guy and be like, this isn't what our culture's like here. It's actually detrimental to them acting like that. You know, like, pro teams don't want idiots.
I understand that.
There you go, 19
I understand that,
picks.
but these are also kids, right? These are also kids that want to pad their stats because they want the opportunity to make they wanted the opportunity to make big money, right?
They're gonna get. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. They're getting paid $750,000 for the next 3 years.
I understand that. I understand that. I know
they're not gonna be like, oh.
Do you remember what you did 3 years ago?
Yeah,
I understand.
It'll be like, what did you do at the NHL level?
But if they want to ride their success in the tournament, they can ride the success in the tournament.
No, Lafreniere's not on the team.
Yeah,
He probably would have said, like, oh, okay, guys, 10's enough.
Yeah, New York didn't allow them to play. Didn't allow him the rights to play. Or the rights to lease.
The embarrassment here is, if you're not going to blame the players,
you got to blame the
because
coach.
you can't tell them not to play.
No, you blame the coach.
You blame the coach. The coach needs to call a timeout and say, look, guys,
we're dumping and chasing.
No, dump and chase. And here's another thing I want you to do: take a penalty. Let's work on our penalty kill.
Yep.
It's an opportunity to work on your penalty kill. It's an opportunity to do a lot of things.
That's what I'm getting at, Greg. It's all about. I believe that for a lot of these kids, it's all about their ego right now. Like, it's about their ego. They want to pad the score sheet, and they want to make themselves look good because they see someone like I said, Stützle, who went 2nd overall, and maybe some of these other kids were drafted lower than him, like a Perfetti, for instance. Cole Perfetti was on. He was interviewed, and he was talking about how he wanted to prove something that he was just as good as Stützle. So. Even though I don't think Perfetti actually even registered a point on the score sheet.
But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter.
No, I get that.
Like, it might matter to them, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
I know, but to them it does.
To me, I won't watch a game now. Like, I watched, it was like 3-1. I'm like, okay, I'll watch the second period. I was back and forth with some other stuff. Turn back in, it's like 12-2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
But the game against Slovakia was good. It was a 3-1 score, right?
Because I think they had seen they made a mistake by running up the score like that.
But USA beat Austria 11-0.
Okay, because of the fact that Canada beat the other team 15-2. The goal differential matters.
Yes.
So now the powerhouse teams are going out there and saying, like, now we got to run up the score on somebody because we got to stay in contention with Canada.
You almost wonder if Germany just wants to say, you know what, screw it, and just we have zero chance. Let's just get out of here.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't forfeit the game with all the COVID.
Right.
Like, our last out of bounds, we talked about the fact that we thought Sweden and Germany might drop out of the tournament.
Potentially going to cancel the tournament. Yeah,
it's pretty interesting stuff, though. I'm just not happy as a Canadian seeing something like that.
It's un-Canadian-like, is what I get it. Like, we like to see our team win, but we don't like to see our team blow the doors off of another team.
Don, actually,
continue to rub it
We're
in.
not allowed to talk about him here on the air, but Don Cherry, but Don Cherry came out and said, like, you don't do that, and hopefully the hockey gods aren't watching, because that's where something like when it's push comes to shove and you're in a competitive game, a bounce won't go your way because the hockey gods are frowning at you.
Well, do you foresee another team taking exception to that and maybe trying to run a player?
Absolutely. And if you've got returning players next year,
I agree with that, Parker, but
Brian, you don't know what you're talking about.
I agree. 16 goals and 44 shots is, like, I understand what he's saying, but
yeah, I get it. But here's the thing, Brian.
You don't need to forecheck when you're up that much.
You don't even have to take shots on net when it's 12-2.
Yeah, you just dump it in and let them carry it out. Dump it in. And let them carry it
work
out.
on your.
You could work on a trap.
Yeah, you can work on whatever you want. Take a penalty, trip a guy. That's what I'm saying. Like there was other things that could have been done. Take 2 penalties. Work on your 5-on-3 because you're going to need it against teams like the U.S. or somebody like Russia. And you're going to go into and you're going to have no. You just run up the score against these teams. You're not going to have any practice. You know what I mean? That's what I would have done if I was the coach.
I almost wonder if that lures them into a false sense of confidence, where now you're going against teams that are, that are significantly better or in better situation than what Germany was, and now all of a sudden you're in a tight game. Do you have the poise?
That's right.
To be able to pull yourself out?
I would like to see somebody just absolutely smash Canada for doing this. I'm no longer a fan of Team Canada, even being a Canadian citizen. I watched the...
Oh, that's a good point.
At least you corrected your spelling there. I was going to shit on him for that. But anyways, I was getting at the fact that not just this year, but next year, there's going to be players returning to this team, playing as overagers maybe, or playing another year for Team Canada. And there will also be players playing for Germany that were on this year's team, and they will not forget. So you might see something like a Spear or a guy get injured next year for running up the score. So,
all right, well, let's move on. Latest NHL signings.
Latest NHL signings.
All right.
So I was talking Dan. So Dan's been saying all along. He's like the player Montreal needs to sign is Corey Perry. Okay. We'll get to Corey Perry next, but I'm just fascinated by the fact that nobody out there wanted Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman today signed a pro tryout with the St. Louis Blues. The guy had 29 goals last year for what you could say is probably a bad Florida Panthers team.
Mediocre, at best.
Fuck. So anyways, you're looking at a guy with 29 goals. That was in 65 games, shortened season.
Yeah.
That's well above average for an age. Well, that's well above average for that's all you can say. And he can't find a team.
Yeah.
What is going on in the current state of the NHL? And is it maybe due to the fact that there's no money out there?
That's exactly what it is. It has to do with money.
Craig Anderson also just signed a pro tryout with, who did he go to? Washington?
I
think because of the Lundqvist situation.
Yeah, because Lundqvist.
Just prior to going on air, Henrik Lundqvist, not Fish, open heart surgery, career in jeopardy.
Yeah, he's done.
He was probably done.
He doesn't need to come back at all in any way, shape, or form, right? So it's.
I think Anderson has signed with the Rangers now. Like, there's a flood of signings coming in right now. A trade yesterday.
Yeah, I saw Ryan Miller actually signed a 1-year deal. I can't remember who it was, but I was actually surprised to hear his name. I was like, wow, this guy hasn't retired. He's 41.
Montreal also signed Michael Frolik to league minimum $750,000.
Yeah.
Corey Perry, 1 year, $750,000. Does he help the Montreal Canadiens or no?
I don't think so. I think he's very much like Joe Thornton is for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I agree with you. Corey Perry cannot skate at the NHL level anymore. But Corey Perry does one thing better than Joe Thornton and those other guys. He will kill you.
Oh yeah,
He's one of the dirtiest players in
Yeah.
the game. I think he's coming in. He's going to be a fourth line guy or second power play. He can still shoot the puck.
I'd take him over Joe Thornton.
Yes, of course. But what I'm saying, yes, of course. But what I'm saying is that Montreal's got, they're set up. Okay, I don't even want to say this. Okay, with the Canadian division now, they literally said, with Montreal bringing in the veteran leadership now, I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done.
What do they have cap space wise?
They're actually over the cap, 1.15 million.
Yep.
But I don't think Jonathan Drouin plays this year for the Montreal Canadiens. I think Marc Bergevin is on the phone right now. Either Jonathan Drouin goes out, or a smaller guy like Jordan Wheel. Jordan Wheel might get sent somewhere as a cap relief.
Salary dump.
Yeah. Jordan Wheel's a good hockey player though.
Yeah.
But or Paul Byron. So like they said that they are just stacked now. They don't have high-end elite talent like other teams, but it's going to be that. Like with guys like Suzuki and Kotkaniemi and Gallagher on a good year is a 30-goal guy.
I sent you the schedule for the Canadian division, and it was looking at which team played who. Let's go through that real quick. So if you're Montreal, you play Calgary 9 times. How many wins again?
6.
Okay.
Sorry. They'll probably be like 5.
5 and 4. Okay.
5, 3, and 1.
Okay. So you play Edmonton 9 times.
Same record.
Okay. You play Ottawa 10 times.
I think Ottawa is going to be good this year. I think Ottawa is going to surprise a lot of people.
So 6 and
I
4?
would say probably 500 against that team. Montreal. Okay, hold on. I don't want to comment because I haven't seen them play yet.
Okay.
There's too many new pieces.
Well, we can do way early.
Way early predictions.
We'll do way early predictions.
Way early prediction. They win the division now.
Okay, I figured that's who I have to win
Everybody,
the Canadian division.
So media is starting to pick up on it, and they're saying like they're stacked now.
Yep.
Best goaltending duo in that division. Now they've got veteran leadership. It's theirs for the taking.
Well, it's theirs to lose, I think, right? I think
No, because they weren't supposed to be there.
Okay.
But the turnover there this year, while teams like Edmonton are struggling to stay afloat because of cap issues, losing defensemen, or Calgary's the same way, having to shed cap, they're having to let go of their better players because of cap reasons.
Yeah.
Where Montreal is adding.
Well, I was looking at Tampa Bay, and because Tampa Bay was well over the cap, and then all of a sudden Kucherov is out for the season now, right? So he doesn't count
so
on
it's
their
cap or what do they call it?
He doesn't count on their books now.
I get that,
Yeah.
but what do they call it? Circumvention.
Yeah.
So it's basically a loophole in the CBA or in the salary cap era. Basically, they're cheating.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way. So they also went out and gave Ottawa 2 players, and took back Marian Gaborik, who I didn't even know was still in the NHL.
I didn't even know he was still. Yeah.
And they took back somebody else as well. I can't remember who, but both of those players as well went on long-term injury.
Yeah.
So Ottawa got Cedric Paquette and I believe somebody else and picks as a favor. They sent the salary back. That could be what's in my tea. It's called victory, Uncle Brian. It's called your Leafs are no longer the alpha. Sorry.
So let's get to that then, because the next team on there is Toronto. Montreal and Toronto, they play each other 10 times.
Montreal will dominate them.
Okay, so what do you give them,
Montreal
7-3?
No, I'm just gonna say the division. So everybody used to laugh at the Montreal Canadiens, and I'm gonna tell you, I've listened to this shit my whole life. Oh, they're small, they're soft. They can't play against big teams. Well, guess what, folks? Now they're the big team. They've gotten rid of the small guys, and the small guys they do have. I would like you to go into the corner with Paul Byron and tell me how that feels. The dude's like 5'8", and he will literally run you over like a steamroller. The guys they do have that are small, and Max Domi was the same way. Max Domi wasn't an easy player. He wasn't easy to play against. But when you bring in Josh Anderson, 6'4", 6'5", you bring in a Corey Perry. You bring in who else did they just bring in? Just this year.
Josh
Anderson. They brought in a couple big guys. That's what I'm saying. I can't remember who the other big guy was. I'm having a brain fart right now.
Yeah, I can't
Tyler Toffoli. That's who I'm trying to say.
Okay.
All big dudes. I will take $100 off your hands.
Ooh. Ooh. Here. He's reaching into his pocket right now.
There it is. The Montreal Canadiens will be ahead of the Toronto Maple Leafs at the end of the year in the standings. The bet's on the table. If you want it, it's here for the taking.
Wow.
Goaltending and defense wins. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I think they have the best goaltending tandem in the entire division.
And probably the best defense.
Yeah. And I think that their offense is going to be high-powered. Like, I think it's going to be... They're a very, very well-rounded team. Like, they are...
And they're not done.
I think they're a complete team.
So I think their weakest link on the team right now is Jonathan Drouin. He just hasn't produced at what you need him to produce at. But there's still fire, man. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm telling you right now. Do not be shocked if Patrick Laine is a Montreal Canadian on opening night. I think there's a deal. I think there's a deal for... So Winnipeg needs defensemen desperately. I think there's a deal there. Do you regularly walk around?
He does. He peacocks all the time. Like, he pulls them out and he's just flaunting them around the back of his head.
I almost feel like saying, you don't walk around with $100 bills?
Who does
like,
not?
how do you buy anything?
Let's finish up this. So, against Toronto, what are you going to give him as a record?
I think Toronto misses the playoffs this year.
No. What are you going to give Montreal against Toronto? They play 10 times.
I think Ottawa beats the shit out of Toronto all year, and we're sitting here thinking to ourselves, like, what happened? Okay? The Toronto Maple Leafs are soft. I'm telling you that right now. Bold prediction right now.
All right.
Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, or John Tavares will miss more than half the season. At least two of them.
Injured or...
Injured.
Okay.
They're playing in a tougher division now. You don't have Tampa Bay to figure skate with.
Yeah.
You don't have who else is in the division? The original Boston was a tougher team to play against. Montreal, not as tough last year to play against. A lot different now. Like coming up the wing, you're going to tell me that Mitch Marner's going to have an easy time getting by a Josh Anderson?
Oh no, of course it depends.
But what I'm saying though is like that matters. Like when you got to play him 9 times, 10 times, that matters when that guy's going to literally be.
You're going to put your
in
body
your ass every night.
Ouch! You're going to put the body through the ringer. That's for sure.
That's right. They're going to be destroyed, and they think bringing in guys like Wayne Simmons are going to matter. So I'm going to tell you right now, Corey Perry is Wayne Simmons on steroids. Okay? Corey Perry just that erases that whole move. Okay? So if you're thinking Wayne Simmons was going to be like your tough guy and come in and push the little Montreal guys around, it's not happening now. Corey Perry's going to come in and bitch slap that guy. Another thing that matters, I seen an interesting stat. Last year, the Montreal Canadiens had 0 players that had won a Stanley Cup on their team. Now they have 6.
Yeah, now they've got some leadership.
How insane is that?
Yeah.
You have 6 guys that know what it takes. That's 2 lines, folks. That's crazy.
And they're contributors too.
Yeah, they're key players.
Yeah,
Tyler
key
Toffoli.
players. Yep.
Edmondson on defense.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like they're Corey Perry, obviously. Like they're big time contributors.
So you're really looking forward to the season then?
No, I'm totally. I won't watch a game.
How are you gonna know if you won your $100 from Greg?
I'll just follow. I'll watch the standings. I do more talking on Twitter and stuff like that. I kind of listen to experts about what's going on in the league and stuff. I talk to guys like I tweet back and forth with guys like Eric Engels from Sportsnet. You know what I mean, like guys from CTV. Lots of guys I talk to.
Okay.
But yeah, I talk to them all about hockey, and I don't know. They don't tell me to shut up, so they must. I'm not an idiot, I guess. But
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah, I get that Laine's a soft player, but I want to tell you something. Not everybody can score 40 goals. That's what they're missing. So, Jonathan Drouin's a soft guy too, but he can't score 40 goals. So if you can package Jonathan Drouin and a defenseman to get a Patrick Laine, you make that move. Because in my opinion, you're plus 20 on the scoreboard right now. And Patrick Laine's not not a little dude. He's not easy to handle.
Where's the siren with the name dropping? I don't have a siren.
All right, we are now in the free-for-all. What do you guys want to talk about? Did you guys have any questions for the show? Let me know.
Tell us how your Christmas was, or what you're planning
Tell us
for
how
New
your
Year's.
Did you guys get your Christmas wish?
Yeah, or what your New Year's plans are.
What's your plans for New Year's? Well, nobody can do anything,
No.
so we're just kind of sitting here. That's why we have so many people watching live tonight. Nobody can do anything.
Yeah, don't forget that Singles Night happens tomorrow.
No,
Right?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So
Yeah,
Singles Night
today's
is
not
Wednesday.
Tuesday.
I'm currently working on the 100 cards, not 50 cards. We missed last week's Singles Night. 100 cards for Singles Night. I don't think there's really going to be anything overly expensive. What's the next Upper Deck release? It is Synergy, and we will be announcing we're going to do Hockey Card Night in Canada featuring Synergy. Literally, we have no product.
Yeah.
So on January 7th, Synergy comes out. You can buy it by the box, which I recommend to do, or you can buy it by the pack, and we're going to rip it all here live online. That should be a Wednesday night.
Cool.
So that'll be an interesting night for us, January 7th.
Yeah, we did see we saw some of the sample cards. We saw the very first Lafreniere, autograph. Yep.
So it will be loaded with good stuff. Wendell Clark's signing for the set.
I saw that,
pretty
yeah.
nice.
Wendell Clark on that.
There's Crosby autos in it. Alex, I'm going to send out an advert for everybody. Singles Night is Wednesday this week. It is a day ahead because we don't want to compete with New Year's Eve, although we talked about it. We did talk about it.
Yeah. Anderson and Andy are on CNN or whatever it is. They're welcoming in the new year.
Cool. But it is what it is. We're going Wednesday night for Singles Night, and then the following Thursday we'll be back to normal. But yeah, I'll show you guys. Check this out. Where'd it go? Where's that box? Our good friend Al, not the one that's missing in action, but my good friend Al just sold me this box. It is literally 80% Toronto Maple Leafs, high-end inserts or rookies or autographs. Just a card at random. He doesn't play there anymore, but UC Rhinus SP Authentic Patch Auto. But just stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's all going to be cheap.
You did say we would not need Toronto cards.
We don't need Toronto cards for a while.
For quite some time.
Morgan Riley dual jersey card. Stuff like that's going to be coming at you. It's numbered at 125, probably like a $10 card on Singles Night. And there's endless possibilities. Here we go, some old stuff. Brian Glennie autograph for the Toronto Maple Leafs. There you go. We just talked about, it's not all Toronto stuff. Henrik Lundqvist with the dual jersey. All kinds of stuff in here, guys. There's some vintage as well. Who we got here? Mike Palmateer rookie card. Pretty cool. Well, I'll just pull out another random vintage. Ron Francis rookie card. So there's tons of content. Probably literally 500 cards in this box. Any Grant Fuhr in a Leafs jersey? Yes.
Really?
There's actually some Grant Fuhrs in here. There's an Alan Bester autograph in here, which I'm totally jacked about. Grant Fuhr inserts, Grant Fuhr jerseys, all kinds of stuff. But probably about 70%, 80% Leaf stuff in here.
Saw a couple of Leafs Marks cards in there too, right? Like
all kinds of stuff. And for those of you that are not Leaf fans, we already pulled out some stuff. This is cheating. This stuff's going to be on Singles Night. Out of the same box, Hextall, Clark, dual jersey card. Red Wing fans, Chris Draper jersey. Chris Chelios for the Red Wings as well. Johnny Bauer insert. Trevor Linden autograph for the Vancouver Canucks. These are cool. We're doing the flashback with the older stuff. That light's really causing problems there. We've got the
Do you want to go to big screen?
Premier Padman. Yeah, we're almost done. We'll go to big screen.
All right.
Premier Padman for the Potvin there. This is my favorite card that I pulled out of the stack so far. Stacking the pads. It's just like one of those old Dufex
that's cool.
inserts. We've had really good luck with these. These are the color guards. Mike Vernon with the San Jose Sharks. That's an oldie.
Wow.
Rick Vive rookie card coming at you. Yeah, we're going to watch the fur fly over that. That's the Steve Eisman rookie card going on Singles Night.
Is that the tops or the OPG version?
It's tops. Dave Gagne, local fanfare. We got the Dave Gagne autograph. More Potvin. This is cool. Stumpy, old Steve Thomas autograph where he's golfing there. That's the old be a player. Some Vancouver stuff for Frank. Pulled this out just now. Johnny Van Beesbrook. We had tons of success with John Van Beesbrook autos last time we did it. Dylan Larkin jersey card for the Red Wings. Just so much stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And the newest Montreal Canadian, Corey Perry, young gun. We always like to have current events driving the singles night. But that was just tonight. That was probably about 50 cards I just pulled out tonight. But all Hockey Wednesday. Yeah, we don't have to compete with Canada, Russia.
Nope.
On.
Nope, there's nothing happening yet.
Not much going on Wednesday.
Is there football on Wednesday?
No.
It's all Sunday games? Saturday, Sunday?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But it's interesting anyways. Any questions before we sign off tonight? Maybe I'll get that Grant Fuhr out in the Leaf uniform. I have 89 cards already picked out for singles night. I need 11 more. We're doing 100 cards. I don't think there's going to be anything over $50. Everything's going to be in like the 5 to 15 range. Starting time is 7 p.m. Also, big announcement coming up. Did you get any work done on Ham?
I did.
The hobby, according to me, we're kind of looking at. I want it to be pre-recorded. I don't want it to be a live show. What do you think about Russia losing? Oh, in the juniors.
They lost today. I think Alon said that they lost 2-0 today.
NASCAR and Steelers for my birthday. We will have some NASCAR cards as well. I do have some more that I found.
Yeah, it's not just hockey, right?
It's not just hockey. I pulled out some pretty cool baseball too. I've got a few football cards, maybe. Not many though. It's probably 80% hockey. But that leaves 20 cards across the other formats. No wrestling this weekend. I want to tell you why. We are getting ready for a all wrestling
show, right?
event.
Yeah.
And it's not just going to be cards. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff, toys, figures, all kinds of stuff. But that'll be the Saturday night, I believe, before Royal Rumble, which will be the 27th or 28th of January.
Yeah. No, Ham is not going to be a podcast.
Ham will be a pre-recorded show, but you are going to want to tune in. And if you guys have any questions, we did have one question come in already that we're going to address. I had a customer come in and ask for the opinion on, do I get my cards graded by Beckett or do I get my cards graded by PSA? In a future episode of Ham, Hobby According to Me, I will address this. It will have its own show basically.
Good.
That's probably episode 3 or 4. We're running with what products should you buy, and what rookies from 1920 should you buy as well that are still kind of flying under the radar. And it's funny because one of the rookies on the list, I bought 11 of his young guns the other night, and we'll save it for the show. But it was fun. But anyways, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Ham should be coming out. I'm hoping to have the first episode out for New Year's Eve, if that's possible.
Sure.
We're going to try and get that out for New Year's Eve for you guys to watch. We got to figure out how long it's going to take for it to upload.
Won't take long.
Okay. So it will be available probably New Year's Eve for you guys. Actually, we could probably shoot 2 episodes.
Yep.
So you guys will have some content to view. It is a teaser. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys use the knowledge. You don't have to, but we've got a lot of people. You mean 2020? No, 2021. New Year's Eve of 2021. But thank you guys for tuning in to what's this called?
Out of Bounds. Yep.
Out of Bounds. Yeah, we're still doing this. I'm just exhausted, man. It's been a long week or two.
Stop talking so we can get out of here then.
Oh, I forgot to give the tea a rating.
Oh, did you?
Let me try one more time here. Yeah, it's got like a sweetness when you first hit it, and then it's like a bum farts in your mouth. I'd give it like a 6.1.
Okay, 6.1.
It's not horrible.
6.1.
1920.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the
2019, 2020.
So when I say 1920, I mean 2019, 2020 rookie crop, which were your Jack Hughes, your Capo Caco,
Cale Makar,
Quinn Hughes. There are still rookies from. So this year's not done yet. We're still getting in product. The cup is also on pre-order too, if anybody wants that. But we're still getting those products in. We're not done with last year yet, and this year's already started as well. So yeah, a lot going on. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's the hockey calendar release, whatever you want to call it. So, anyways, that'll be it for Out of Bounds tonight. We got a $100 bet. Habs over the Leafs in the standings. Hopefully that was an official bet. I love winning money. But thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Out of Bounds with Mike and Brandon. Sad news to pass along about John Huber, Brody Lee / Luke Harper. Kicked off the show tonight. Pretty shitty way to start. Or I guess 2020's been pretty shitty from the start. So let's just end it on a really bad note. Phil Niekro died today as well. 81 years old. A little bit easier to accept when you're 81, not 41.
Yeah, that's a lot longer of a life.
Yeah, a lot of life in front of that guy, and didn't happen for him. So it's pretty sad. But anyways, you guys have a good night, and take care of each other, and we'll see you guys Wednesday for singles night.
Bye, guys.